what do you think the impact of generative AI or Gen AI will be for the life, accident, and health insurance space?
I think it's going to be huge, and it is nascent technology, so it's going to influence us and impact us in so many ways that we haven't even thought of yet. But certainly the first major step for me is accessing the content of documents. So if you look at how we've embraced technology and embedded technology over the last number of years, it started off by codifying a lot of the elements of the claims and the policies and the underwriting experience, adding them into systems of record and ensuring that we could have those and pull them through. Over the last 5 years, APIs, 10 years possibly, APIs has given us a big window where we can share that common understanding and that single source of truth with all of our stakeholders, from employees, employers, policy owners, and we're all working on and working with a single record. And that's allowed us to reduce our dependency on documents within our workflows, but we're not getting away from that. There's still a lot of parties who are, for technology reasons, adoption reasons, or just because they're that bit disconnected from our core services like medical providers, who are going to communicate with us through paper, electronic paper, email, and other channels that use text-based communication. And that is a treasure trove. That's where Gen AI is going to be the first major change it's going to make. It's allow us to get into that documentation, get into those forms, get into those medical records, and pull out actionable, usable information. Now, that's going to be up to us to ensure that we can't just turn the machines on and go make that useful. It's going to be up to us to say, well, what is useful? What do we do with that paper today? How do we take in a form and turn it into a decision? How do we assess medical records? Someone sends us 20 pages of medical records. People are going through that. They're processing it in their heads. They're asking questions. They're trying to delve for pieces of information that aren't necessarily the most medically important piece of information, but the most important towards the outcome of the piece of work I'm doing, whether that's medical underwriting or possibly handling a claim or an absence. So broader than that, I just saw yesterday, we've seen Anthropic released the latest version of Claude that can actually use a computer system now. So now robotics that we use in our day-to-day are going to change dramatically, because the LLM is going to be able, the large language model is going to be able to go in and actually move the mouse and run your computer screen based off prompts. And that's going to be a native capability of Claude Anthropic, just released yesterday. So when we did our dry run for this digital event, that wasn't in play. That was 3 days ago. Now it is. So it's changing at a rate of absolute knots. We'll stay on top of it. It's very hard to predict the overall end impact that it's going to have. But I think the first major domino to fall is going to be access to the content of document in a systematic, programmatic way.